everything starts with your mind. And if that's with, hard work, school, any of that, you have to imagine yourself of who you want to be and how you want to be, and you're going to be that person. You have to have that constant thought in your mind every single day of exactly who you want to be, how that person acts, what they do in their day to day, and start doing it and start taking it into action. And I actually did this myself at 18 years old. When I used to work at a clothing store, Zara, I was working very, very long hours, 40 plus hours every single week. And I would see so many people online of living the life that I wanted to live, and I knew I wanted that. And I would think to myself, how can I possibly, achieve that? How can I live like that person now, even though I'm working, a normal 9 to 5? And that's when the idea kind of came into place. Funny enough, I would I would get out of work and I would be driving my Honda, and I'd be just like imagining myself in the car that I wanted. I would imagine myself in, I don't know, a SVJ. I really wanted an SVJ then. I still do want an SVJ. But I would imagine myself, driving down the street, going, 80 plus miles per hour, not 80 miles per hour, probably like over 100 miles per hour. I'm gonna be real. And just going so fast and just like hearing the engine, like I would look at the Honda logo and I would just imagine it as the Lamborghini logo. Just I would envision myself inside of the car, and I would tell myself like I'm going to get this car. Like I literally would get chills through my body and like imagine myself actually driving it. And I have a cross in my car, and I would look at the cross and I would tell God, I'm like, I know I'm gonna get this car. And obviously I don't have the car now, but I know I'm going to be able to get it because I envisioned myself. I told myself that I'm going to be able to get that car. And there's nothing stopping me or you from actually being able to get that dream car of yours, that dream house, that dream girl, that dream job, any of that. The main thing of where it starts is your mind. You have to realize what exactly you want. And it was the same with, when I was 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, bagging groceries at Ralph's, I would tell myself I'm gonna have a better job. I'm gonna be meeting new people. I'm gonna be dressing better. I'm gonna be smelling better, looking better, all of that. And surely enough, I got that job at Zara. I started dressing better, meeting new cool people, and that's when I kind of realized I was like, wow, this is actually possible. And same when I was working at Zara, I was like, I'm gonna quit my job. I would envision myself. I would go to the coffee shop during my breaks, and I would envision myself working on my laptop, on a business, on a new skill, and I would tell myself this is something that's gonna replace my current income now, and I'm gonna be coming back to this coffee shop, and I'm gonna be remembering, wow, I would come here on my breaks, on my lunch breaks, while I was going through fucking hell in my job, and it's just crazy. And I always tell this to my friends and my family, like, you guys have to realize that everything starts in your mind. You guys have to realize what exactly you guys want out of life, and you guys just have to fucking execute it. You guys have to think about it every single day. Every single fucking day. If you don't, you want something bad enough if you think about it every single day. If you think about that one thing every single day, I guarantee you you're going to be able to get it. I guarantee you. There's literally nothing stopping you guys from being able to achieve anything. You guys have a phone. I'm assuming you guys have a phone, a laptop, know how to speak to people. You don't have to be, good looking, the best person ever to start making content like this, or starting that business. Like I've seen the dumbest people do the best in business, or just anything in general, like making content or sales. Like I've literally seen the dumbest people do it, and they're making over 5 to 10K months. Why? Because they thought about it every single day, and they actually took action inside of it. And that's exactly what I did. I wasn't the best at sales. I honestly could barely even hold a conversation before. And when I started to tell myself, I can actually do this, I put the reps in, and I put the hard work in, and I consistently told myself I'm going to be able to do this, and guess what? I did it. And that's why I'm so confident of when I'm inside of my car and I hear the Lamborghini engines. Like I could feel myself inside of the car, and I know I'm going to get that car. Now, it's a whole different thing when you keep telling yourself, oh, or you keep telling other people like, oh, I'm gonna get this car, I'm gonna get that. That's just, in my opinion, when I hear other people saying like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but they never actually take action, right? And I'm more of a type of person where I just kind of keep it to myself. Besides me telling you guys right now on this YouTube video, but I always keep almost all my goals inside of me. Like I don't really project it to or tell other people, telling them like, oh, like I want to do this, I want to do that, until like I've already started it, and I've already seen something. Because I saw a study where when you start telling other people your goals, you get that dopamine, because people validate those goals, and they're like, oh yeah, like dude, that's super sick that you want to get that car, like hell yeah, like you're gonna get it, bro, blah blah blah, and then you never actually end up doing it because you got that sense of dopamine, unlike you just telling yourself, you feeling it, and yeah, because I've even had that experience where I'm just like, you know what, I tell people my goals and then I never do it, and it's also that dopamine, but it also could be that envy from other people. So you never actually know what the other person's thinking. Maybe they're thinking like, oh, that guy has way more goals than me. Like that's not fair. Like why don't I have that mindset? Stuff like that. And it's true. I really am a deep believer in people envying you, and when you tell someone else your plans beforehand, then they never fall through as how you would like them. So that's why, like, I always say, keep your goals to yourself. The main three things that you should keep to yourself is money, your goals, and politics and religion. Those it ends bad always. Doesn't always end bad, but there's always conflict. But like I'm saying, I'm fucking backtracking. I always do this when I'm talking, just to the phone. But yeah, like you have to envision yourself and know what exactly you want. One of my biggest tips that I give to you guys is writing down exactly what you guys want. I would literally manifest and write. You can see I have my notebook in my room, but if you see, there's pages filled with me telling myself I'm going to quit my 9 to 5 to make money online, and I would write it over 10 times, whatever number you want or like, write it that number of times, and tell yourself that you're actually gonna do that. And I would write it down. I would also write down, what else would I write down? Oh, that I'm gonna be traveling, and I'm gonna get this car, and surely enough, like it all ended up working. And I'm a main believer that it's from that manifestation, the thoughts that you get into your brain that you want to achieve, because those thoughts aren't in your brain for no reason. I'm a firm believer that if what you think about, like, let's say you want to be an entrepreneur or businessman, you know have that car, that there's a reason why you have that. God put that inside of your mind, and told you that, and put those ideas in your mind because he knows that you can achieve them. Not everyone gets the thought of, or the need of wanting to be an entrepreneur, wanting to own a business, stuff like that. And I mean, it's because God's, that's not really his plan for you. But if you're constantly thinking about these things, and you constantly feel like you can do these things, it's the reason. He put that in your mind for a reason, because he knows that you can achieve it. Now, it's your turn to actually put that hard work in and tell yourself that you are able to do it, believe in yourself, and take action. The first step is making sure what you want, knowing how badly you want it. Think about how you're gonna get it, and then taking action. And that's the main thing. That's honestly the main thing. And yeah, always believe in God. He's gonna have your back, and he's going to guide you in the right way. Just ask him, God, I know you have a plan for me. Just guide me. I always do that, even when I'm the most lost, even when I'm on the right track. I always make sure to make sure on his end that, you know, everything's good. And not to get all religious here and stuff, but I'm, you know, that's just something that I've seen it with my friends, my most successful friends. They all put their life in God's hands, and yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to make this video to kind of yap, um, super random video, but I just feel like I wanted to talk about this. I felt the need to talk about this. Um, but yeah, take action every single day. Think about what you want. Constantly have it in your mind. Live how that person would live, and take action and change your life every single day. And you're gonna see a big change. Because you're not, think about it for 6 months. Take action for 6 months. Once 6 months is done, you're gonna be a whole different person. But yeah, love you guys. Like, comment, and share, and subscribe. And yeah, good yaps.